Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will meet with U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House on May 1st. U.S. officials say the two leaders will discuss how to deepen economic cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. The announcement comes as the U.S. and the Philippines are in the middle of their largest ever joint war games. The two countries have stepped up military cooperation in recent months. They say China is the biggest threat to regional security. For more on how the Philippines is making plans for possible conflict in the Taiwan Strait, our reporter Jaime Ocon spoke to Aaron-Matthew Lariosa, an independent security analyst based in Washington, D.C.
And how significant is the fact that the Philippines is now making contingency plans, emergency plans for if a conflict were to erupt between Taiwan and China?
It all comes back to the ambassador's comments. He touched on the 150,000 Filipino workers in Taiwan, so that's a really sensitive topic for us. Those are Filipino people. So when he made that thinly veiled threat, a lot of people started being really concerned. It's like, well, do we have a plan? How will we get them out if a conflict occurs, etc.? So yesterday, I believe, or a few days ago, the northernmost province of Batanes, the Armed Forces of the Philippines gave a presentation to government officials there about what would happen or like what they could do in a Taiwan contingency.
And how are people in the Philippines reacting to more U.S. presence in the country?
So in the Philippines, we're seeing a really interesting dynamic of local government units and local officials and their takes on EDCA. Some people see it as like, this will provoke China, China will target us. But also some governors and some people see it as like an economic opportunity.
What is the significance of the Philippines declining the U.S. Trying to stockpile weapons on these bases?
So the significance, it's a bit of a dilemma for the Philippines, because if we look at the type of weaponry that would be used to defend Taiwan from the United States, and what type of weaponry the Philippines would require from the United States to defend it in the Philippine-U.S. alliance, they're very similar. So where will the line be drawn on what types of weapons could be stored at these sites? It's a very interesting dilemma, and frankly, I think we need to wait and see how Manila decides where this line is drawn. This also plays into the Marcos's balancing act between the United States and China. I'm sure everybody's heard about the recent comments from the ambassador recently, and Marcos has actually said, it might have been lost in translation, it downplays what the ambassador actually said, which is really interesting because it's pretty obvious it was a thinly veiled threat.